What's up, YouTube? I'm out here in the hot heat, southeast, melting away. Feels good. My son is mowing the yard. He's got a reel mower, which is basically, they're called reel mowers, REEL. And what they are is the push mower that the blade spins on the front. And it's powered by a muscle and your energy. It doesn't have a motor on it. So he's been mowing the front yard, and now he's going to do the side. You might hear him. You might hear this truck club across the street from me working on their trucks or whatever. But so I wanted to talk about food addiction. There's so many aspects to food addiction, and I've started this video a few different times, and I keep forgetting things and moving ahead when I should stay on the subject. It's hard because the food addiction is like, it's not just one video is going to sum it all up, you know. One aspect to it, I would say, is, hold on a second. What's up? Okay. We'll go back inside where you stay out of this heat, okay? Anyways, so food addiction has many different aspects. There's a few that come to mind. Our society doesn't view it like it does drug addiction or being addicted to alcohol or what have you. And they look at us, people that are overweight, as lazy. And there is some truth to that. I mean, yeah, you know, we're all grown-ups. We all have the mental capacity to do what is needed. But, you know, I mean, so do people that are addicted to drugs, you know, and people give them not a pass, but I mean, they feel for them. And I guess people do feel for us too, you know. I mean, people are supportive whenever you're trying to better yourself as an overweight person. So that's good. But I just see that in society, it is being addicted to food and dealing with being overweight is not as in the spotlight as, you know, people that are on drugs, like hard drugs. And you know, so I mean that's I guess that's up for debate. Probably neither of them should be in first place of what's the most important. You know, it's all important, and anybody with an addiction or a problem people should be supportive when they're trying to better themselves. You know, and for the most part, I mean, our society is supportive. I think that in the last few years, people have become to understand the whole food addiction thing a little bit better, you know. So, and I'm wiping my head off with a sock. Yes, I am. So there's that aspect that, you know, people are coming around to understanding more. Maybe it's because of the internet, communication, I don't know, of the difficulties of being addicted to food. But let me just hang my laundry out to dry. Joking. But I will say this. If you want to understand the difficulty of being addicted to food, here's just one thing. Imagine a person is kicking hard drugs and they realize they have a problem, which is the first step. They figure out a plan of how to fix that problem. That's the second step. And they start the plan. That's the third step. So when they start the plan, the first day that they wake up, they walk into their kitchen, open the refrigerator, and whatever drug is their drug of choice, imagine the refrigerator being filled up with all different kinds of that drug, you know? And can you imagine how hard that would be? And then they're looking around and there are other family members who don't have a hard addiction to that drug, but need that drug, they're all doing that drug, in different forms. And and this drug addict's looking around and watching all these different people in their family just enjoy the heck out of that drug, you know. And imagine that the drug isn't illegal. Imagine that the drug they're addicted to is a legal drug, like drinking, for instance. It's a legal drug, and so their family's doing it. The drug is legal, and then they're like, I gotta get out of here. So they get in their car. They're like, I'm just gonna leave that behind, go right around, and then every corner that in their town has a fast food, a fast drug restaurant with big signs of that drug of choice of theirs, just in its most perfect form, And everywhere they look, there's another restaurant featuring that drug the way they make it. And they've got signs up, and they're just like, this is the greatest type of that drug that you love. Come and get it. And then all of the big chain stores have that drug in them, selling it legally. And then they come back home and they're like, I'm just going to stay in my room. Just going to stay away from the whole world. They turn on their TV. They turn on their computer. They turn on their phone. And what do they see? All types of advertisements for that drug. And then they get on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, and all of their friends are posting up different recipes for that drug. And to top it off, the worst thing is that they need that drug to live. If they don't do that drug, a manageable amount a day, then they'll die. That's what it's like being addicted to food. Can you imagine a drug addict in that type of situation being able to kick that habit? It's hard. Oh, and here's another aspect. Imagine that the culture that the person lives in, the traditions that they're used to, features that drug. Because all cultures of the world, no matter where you go, the north, the south, the east, the west, Europe, Africa, the Americas, Asia, the Middle East, no matter where you go, whatever culture, one of the main things it features, imagine if it was that drug. I mean, it's everywhere. That's what it's like, But I'm talking about food. Now, replace the drug with food. That's what it's like trying to kick this addiction of food. You can't even kick it. You have to control it. You can't even kick it. I wish I could. You know what I really wish? I wish that they could just plug me up to some machine that would give me certain nutrients, and I wouldn't have to eat anymore. It's a hassle sometimes to eat, Sometimes, there's so much psychology behind this, and there's also the psychology of, me being like, woe is me, and all this, and my situation's worse. I can't imagine what it would be to be a heroin addict or someone addicted to crack or cocaine or an alcoholic. My father was an alcoholic, and so I've seen firsthand, and I've seen what drugs do to different people in my life. I've seen what drugs can do to you. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. I'm not trying to say that being addicted to food is just like being addicted to heroin. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that food addiction is its own beast. I'm not saying that it's harder than drugs, or harder than alcohol, or whatever, or other addictions. But it is to be food addiction is a beast. You know, it's hard. It is hard. Everywhere you look, everywhere you go, everything you do, food is involved, and it has to be, because I mean it's something that we need. Um, Food addiction. Let me think here. Yeah, you know, sometimes like whenever I'm on a diet, uh, I'll sometimes it's a hassle to eat. Sometimes I just wish, God, I wish I didn't even have to eat. You know, because I get, I mean, I go so long without eating, I don't even want to eat. You know, but that, I mean, that's kind of true. But then again, when I start eating, I'm like, oh my God, it's so good, yeah. You know, so I'm